Jai Hind to all. Today I am going to discuss this topic, that is a priori algorithm, and myself is Akanksha Shukla. I am working as an assistant professor in Ajay Kumar Garg Engineering College in IT department. So before moving towards this algorithm, that is a priori algorithm, we must have knowledge about association rule mining. That what is association? So basically this mining is a popular, or we can say that is it is an unsupervised learning technique which is basically used in businesses or markets to identify, or it helps in identifying the shopping patterns. So that's why it is also known as market basket analysis. What is the purpose behind this association rule mining? It helps in finding the interesting relationship between the variables or items or the events which are present in the data set. So it can also help in cross-sell related items and can increase the size of the sale. All the data used in this technique is basically categorical data set, and there is no any dependent variable behind this process. It basically uses the machine learning algorithms, and also this technique accepts the input as the raw point of sale transactional data set. The output which is produced is basically the description of the most frequent item sets which are present among that particular data set in the market. For example, if you are taking the example that a customer who bought a laptop, computers and virus protection software also must have bought an extended service plan 70% of the time. So generally what we have seen in the market, that a customer who is going to buy other laptop, computers and the virus protection software must have the choice of buying a extended service plan 70% of the time. So if you take an other example, then a customer who bought bread and milk also bought a butter 80% of the time. So these two are the some real world examples which we can see in a general, or we can say in our daily life, which basically which are going to describe the association rule mining in the very best manner. What are the business applications of these particular association rules? So basically in business environment, a pattern or a knowledge can be used for many purposes. So that pattern or knowledge which are used for many purposes can be better identified by using this association rule mining. Just like in sales or marketing, if you are supposing that it basically used for e-commerce site design, online advertising optimization, product pricing, sales promotion configuration. So for all these scenarios in sales or marketing, this association rule mining is very much useful. So this analysis can suggest not to put one item once on sale at a time, instead to create a bundle of products which can be promoted as a package to sell the other non-selling items. Suppose for example, in a market, suppose two items are not very much picked up by the customers. So if you are going to put that two items within collaboration with those items or with those data items or with those events, with those items which are frequently bought by the customer, then the chance of buying that non-selling items can further increase when these are bundled or collaborated with the frequent buying item sets. So that is the key point here, that this analysis can suggest not to put one item on sale at a time, instead to create a bundle of products which can be promoted as a package to sell other non-selling items. So in retail environments, it can be used for store design also. Strongly associated items can be kept close together for customer convenience. So we can see in our daily life that when we are going to buy our items, or when we are going to a mall, or when we are going to a market, then we can easily see that the strongly associated items are kept together in a package form to easily avail the customers for their convenience, or they could be placed far from each other so that the customer has to walk the hassles, and by doing so it potentially exposed to other items. So these two chances can be seen in our daily life, that either the strongly associated items can be kept close together for customer convenience, or it can be kept far from each other, so that for reaching that particular item, customer has to walk there, and by doing so he or she can have exposure to some other items also, and then they can expose to other items also, and the selling of that non-selling items are also increased. So how to represent these association rules? Basically, a generic rule is represented between a set x and y. So here we can see This S is a support and this C is a confidence. So X and Y are the products or the services which we are going to provide to the customers. X is the left hand side and Y is the right hand side. S is a support which is defined as how often X and Y go together in a total transaction set. So support basically defines this. Confidence basically defines that how often Y goes together with respect to X. Suppose for example there are 100 transactions and out of 100 product X was bought 80 times and product X and Y were bought 60 times. So X individually was bought 80 times and these two products X and Y were brought together 60 times. So what would be the association rule is X tend to Y, support is X and Y when X and Y both are bought. So what are the chances of buying X and Y go together in the total transaction set? That is 60 times. So support is 60%. And what is the confidence? That how many times Y is bought with respect to X. So here it is written that out of 100 product X was bought 80 times. So what would be the confidence? That how often Y goes together with X. So that would be the 75%. So that is the basic representation of the association rule. So rule X tends to Y, support is how many times X and Y together bought with respect to total number of transactions, and confidence is how many times frequency of X and Y goes respect to the frequency of X. So that is the basic representation of that particular association rule. So what is the algorithm for association rule? Basically there are so many association rules, so not all association rules are interesting and useful. First of all, this thing is to be kept in your consideration that not all association rules are interesting and useful. So only those that are strongly associated, so that are strong rules and that also occur frequently. So in association rule mining, what is the basic goal? The goal is to find all that rules which are going to satisfy the user specified minimum support and minimum confidence. So whatever the resulting set of rules we are going to achieve, that all are the same irrespective of the algorithm which is going to be used given a transaction data set T or a minimum support and a minimum confidence. So the set of association rule existing in T is uniquely determined. The most popular algorithm for that purpose for finding the association rules are a priori, ACLET and FP growth along with various derivatives and hybrids of the three. So basically in this lecture I am going to discuss this algorithm which is known as a priori, or which is basic algorithm for finding the association rules. So what is the a priori algorithm? Basically it is one of the most popular algorithm which is used for association rule mining, and in this particular algorithm we are going to identify the frequent item sets in a item set whose support is a frequent item sets in a item sets which are given at that particular point of time. So now question arises that what is frequent item set? So what is frequent item set? Basically frequent item set is an item set whose support is greater than or equal to the minimum support threshold value. So for example, if a scenario is given to you, for example transaction IDs or data sets are given to you, then it must be given you about the minimum support value, that what should be the minimum support and what should be the minimum confidence value. So frequent item set is an item set whose support is greater than or equal to that particular minimum support value which is given in your particular question or in your particular given scenario or transaction set. So basically a priori property is a downward closure property, which means that any subsets of a frequent item sets are also frequent item sets. Okay. So if ABCD is a frequent item set, then any subset just like ABC, BCD, ABD and AB, BCD, these all are also the frequent item sets. That is known, this property is known as downward closure property of a priori priority. So this uses bottom up approach, and the size of the frequent subset is basically or gradually increased from one item subsets to two item subsets, then three item subsets, and then four, and then so on. So group of candidates at each level are tested against the data for the minimum support value, which will be further clarified in the example. So this is basically the flow chart of a priori algorithm. So First of all, what we do, we read each item in a transaction, then we identify the support of every item, that is should be calculated. So if support is greater than or equal to the minimum support which is given, then we move further forward, and if that support is less than minimum support, then we have to remove that particular item from that transactions. If support is greater than or equal to minimum support, then that particular item will be inserted to the frequent item sets. Now further we find the confidence for each non-empty subset, and again we test that if confidence is greater than equal to minimum confidence, then it should be inserted into the strong rules, otherwise that particular subset will get removed from that particular transactional data set. And after that we are going to stop this particular algorithm. So this is the basic algorithm and not so very much complex. So suppose the transactional list is given here. In this we are having 12 transactions and the data items are given this. Okay. So what we do, with the help of this particular association rule, we identify first of all first item sets. In first item sets, what we do, we basically identify the items which are present in this particular transaction list. So the items which are present in this transaction list are milk, bread, butter, egg, ketchup and cookies. Okay. So one item set means we consider only one item in that particular item set. Okay. Now we calculate the frequency of each item set which is taken into the consideration in first item set. So the frequency of milk, how many times milk is individually occurring in this particular transaction list. So we can calculate easily 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So 9 is written here. Similarly, we calculate the frequency of bread, butter, egg, ketchup and cookies all. Okay. Now here the minimum support threshold value is given, which is 5. Support is 50%. So that's why the items which are having frequency less than 5, they are removed from the data set. So we have frequent one item sets, list of frequent one item sets, this one only. Okay. Now similarly we identify the two item sets from that particular transaction list. So we have 6 two item sets. Similarly calculate the frequency of these 6 item sets, and we are having these 4 item sets. So I think the support for this question is 40%. That's why only 3 is get removed and 4 is also taken into the consideration. Okay. So we removed milk cookies and butter cookies only, because these two have the minimum threshold value, minimum less than, these are having the frequency less than minimum support threshold value. Okay. Similarly 3 item sets, we calculate the frequencies. So in this we can easily see that only one item set is having the frequency which is greater than minimum support threshold value. So this would be taken into the consideration only. After that we got the frequent 3 item set, that is milk, bread, butter. So what are the non-empty subset from this particular set? That would be the milk, bread, butter, and then milk, bread, milk, butter, bread, butter. These are the non-empty subset from this particular frequent 3 item set. Now how we will form the association rule? So for every non-empty subset S of I, the association rule is S tends to I tends to S. So if support of I divided by support of S is greater than equal to minimum confidence, then Non-empty subsets are milk, bread, butter, milk, bread, milk, butter, bread, butter. So minimum support is 30% and minimum confidence is 60%. This is these two things, these two criteria would be given into the question at the very first time. So what would be the rule first? Rule first is milk tends to bread, butter. Or we can say that milk tends to bread, butter, bread tends to milk, butter. Means what we do, simply S tends to I tends to S. So non-empty subset S of I is a this one. Okay, and what would be the S support of I? I is a frequent 3 item set and X would be the single element. Okay, so first of all what we do? First of all we consider milk, bread, butter at the very left hand side, and rest two items would be considered as a right hand side, and these two will be considered as a 2 item subset. Okay, so first three rules will be considered or will be created like this way, just like milk tends to milk tends to bread, butter. Second would be bread tends to milk, butter, and butter tends to milk, bread. Okay, so these three rules will be created in this way only. Next three rules will be just reverse of this. So bread, butter, y side will be considered as a x side and this will be considered as a y side. So first of all we consider first three rules. Milk tends to bread, butter, calculate the support and confidence, and then we can have the support which is 50% and confidence value this is 66.67%. So both of these two values, support and confidence, it is greater than minimum support and minimum confidence value which is 30 and 60% respectively. So this particular rule is a valid or strong associated rule. Again in rule 2 we again calculate support and confidence. Here also support and confidence is greater than equal to minimum values which is given earlier. So this rule is also considered as a valid rule. Now the third rule is this, in which also support is 50% and confidence is 60%. This particular rule is also a valid rule. Now next rule 4, in which y side is termed as a x side, right hand side is considered as a left hand side and left hand side is a considered as a right hand side. Again we calculate support and confidence. Again this two values is greater than minimum value. So this is also a strong associated rules. Again rule 5 is taken into consideration and both support and confidence value is greater than minimum value, that is 30%, 60%. Similarly for rule 6. So what we have seen in this particular example, that all the 6 rules which are formed from the 3 frequent item sets are valid because all the rules are having the values support and confidence which is greater than or equal to minimum values which is given in the very earlier of the transactional list, that is 30 and 60% respectively. So similarly we can have another example, another transaction list, and we have to apply the same procedure towards that also, and we can easily identify the strong association rules from that particular transaction list. Okay. So what is confidence? Basic definitions of terminologies which are used in association rule mining. So what is confidence? It measures how often each item in Y appears in the transactions which can contain the items in X also. So frequency of XY with respect to frequency of X. What is the lift? Lift of the rule xy is basically the confidence of the rule, which is divided by the expected confidence, assuming that the item sets x and y are the independent of each other. So, this expected confidence is basically the confidence which is divided by the frequency of y. Okay. So, the formula of lift we can have lift x tends to y is equal to confidence of x tends to y colon support of divide by support of y. Basically, this is the formula. What is support count? Number of transaction in which x appears. If x is A union B, then it is the number of the transaction in which A and B both are present. What is the maximal item set? So, item set which is considered as a maximal frequent if none of its superset are frequent. Okay. For example, if we are having a BCD, it is a frequent item set, but the superset of BCD, that is ABCD, is not frequent item set, then particular this item set is known as maximal item set. What is closed item set? An item set is considered as a closed item set if none of its immediate supersets have same support count same as item set, then that will be considered as a closed item set. What is k item set? Item sets which contains k items, that is considered as a k item set. So, it can be said that an item set is frequent if the corresponding support count is greater than minimum support count. So, these are the some definitions or basic definitions which are basically used in association rule mining, or indirectly or directly we can also have the usage of these definitions in the a priori algorithm. So, just like the example which I had discussed in this particular lecture, similarly we can have another examples also, and with the use of same procedure we can solve another examples also by using a priori algorithm. So, that's all for this topic. Thank you.